is chosen as the audio device.
How about now?
We're fixing it. We're fixing it. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Let us know if it's good now. Well,
if we have sound,
I should type that.
If you're hearing us, hurry up and let us know.
We're back. We're in. What up, Nico Petrides in the chat, and Gunny MC, Mr. Rob McCraw himself. I saw Tyrus Kerr in here.
Dude, my wrist hurts so bad.
Ryan broke his wrist shadow boxing.
Oh man, broke his wrist shadow boxing. Nice, the Ronda Rousey method. Dude, I forget where we were. Oh yeah, you've had a bad week. Health-wise.
Been rough.
You have had a rough go.
So Danny showed up. I thought he wasn't here till Wednesday. So Danny showed up in the office on Tuesday, but I heard someone in the office, and it was Anthony earlier. And then I just thought it was Anthony walking around, and Danny pops in front of the door. And Danny, did I look like I saw a ghost?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing here? And so, yeah, Danny was back from his venture.
Dude, good.
And so, yeah. So I remember my voice, I've been like sick, like not sick, like bad most of the time, but like for the past week, I haven't been able to shake, like just not being great. But my voice has been the worst. Like my throat is very sore. And the one time I was like, Danny, but it didn't come out like that. And I was like, and Danny like comes over, like he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm all right."
It sounded like he was dying.
We couldn't be so lucky, Danny Paul.
Come on, bro.
Dude, your throat's sore and your wrist is jacked up. I'm just gonna let the jokes take over for themselves.
I'm wearing a wrist brace. You guys you're messed up.
Danny Palm, I do want to kick it to you for a second, though, to fill the good people in on what you've been doing, because Danny Palm just went on a cross-country expedition driving road trip to California and back. California State, by the way, not California, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And he saw some stuff.
Yeah, I went from Pittsburgh first to the Grand Canyon, went straight there, and then from the Grand Canyon to the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park, and stayed somewhere out there. And then went from there to San Francisco, then to Point Reyes National Seashore. Went from there to Lake Tahoe, which was sick, and I fell into Lake Tahoe trying to record a video, busted up my leg a little bit.
I fell into Lake Tahoe. Most people fall in love with Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, I literally fell in.
That's awesome.
Then went from there to, I was in Lake Tahoe, stayed in a tree house. That was pretty sick. And then I went to Zion and then Colorado. It was a great time.
That is a completely wild trip, dude. If you had to rank, if you could go back to only one place you just visited, where would you go?
You didn't go to Moab.
I love Colorado, but I've been there a few times now. So I'm going to say aside from falling in, Lake Tahoe was sweet.
Aside from falling in.
It was really cool.
That's awesome. How was the water? Was it cold?
No, it wasn't cold, but it wasn't too warm either. I was really mad more than anything, so I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, I can't believe this just happened. Like, I'm an idiot. But
did your friend you were with laugh at you, or was it like, oh, are you okay?
Oh, she thought it was hilarious.
Okay, good.
Did she make fun of you?
Friend. That's a good friend.
Yeah, well, and like at first too, like I slammed on my leg.
Well done.
My leg got like really purple at first. So it was like, oh, like what happened?
Then, when you were mad, was she mocking you at that time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. That's even better. Man, when you're getting mocked and you're actually mad.
Yeah, that's what
that's twisting the knife, baby.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's good people.
That is legitimately good people. We also, before we get rolling with the official podcast, some more off topic. Man, my hair is a problem. I should probably get a haircut at some point.
Dude, don't even talk to me about that.
I want to shout out the Stout Fights card happening tonight. We're planning to go watch some good Muay Thai action tonight in Cheswick. So if anybody's going to be at that card, feel free to say what's up. We'd love to meet you, or say what's up if we already know you.
If you're not planning on going to the card, change your plans, get your butt out, see some Muay Thai action with style fights tonight.
I'm real excited about that. I need to pull up the official card, but I know for sure off the top of my head, we got 247 veterans all over that card with Clayton Hoot Lee, Joel Martinez, Jacob Loeffert, Chico Ament. Who else? Who am I forgetting? There's more. I'm pretty sure there's more 247 vets on that card, but maybe not.
That might be it.
That might be it. Let's see. Let's look it up.
Look it up.
What do we got? What do we got, Ryan? What else is going on in Middleton? I feel like we haven't been here in a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's been a few weeks.
You were supposed to be here with Danilo today.
Danilo.
My
What a
wife
guy.
is calling me. She doesn't know we're live.
I think I got
But
yeah.
it is still the show before the show.
Yeah, I think I got every 247 vet on the card. Nice. Look at me go. What a guy. As long as that lineup's accurate. Yeah. Cool. But there's obviously some really good fights. I'm pumped to watch some Muay Thai too. Below Average Bowler, shout out Below Average Bowler. He is that dude. You guys, if you're even remotely interested in bowling, and you know what, even if you're not interested in bowling and you just feel like being a good human, you should go follow him. Below Average Bowler. That's our guy Timbo. He's the man. Tim, are you going to the card, Timbo? Are you going to be there? Am I going to see you? That would be awesome. But it is officially 3 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. I just saw the push notification for 247 Live come through my phone. So this is the official podcast for June 29th doubleheader. Theme of the day, as Ryan said, we were intending a slightly different podcast today, but life throws you curveballs and you hit them, unless it's a Paul Skeens splunker, and you do not hit that.
You do not. You don't even come close. You kind of just walk away shaking your head.
That's kind of all you can do. Hang on, before we
Raul Skeens, by
yeah,
the way.
Raul Skeens. Before we get into the actual meat of the podcast, can we just talk about Raul Skeens for a second?
Dude, he's so ridiculous.
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
We
baby.
don't like we. He's so good, and he has like the package, the girlfriend. It's like the social media. Like he's as big and as popular.
Yeah.
Outside of dating Taylor Swift that he could possibly be.
Yeah, I mean, he really has all that going on, and it's just been awesome to watch unfold. He's single-handedly made me re-interested in Pirates baseball, even though they're still not great. Like, they're still not tearing it up or anything, but he's made it fun again.
You're not interested in Pirate baseball.
I'm interested in Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens has started two games.
It's like 4 now.
At PNC Park.
Okay.
And you've been to both of them and have not seen an inning past when he got taken out.
Correct. The first one, I forget why we left. The second one, you had to drive to Kentucky, so I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
And
and he was taken out. So.
Also, the Pirates were winning 5-1 when they took him out, and then they lost 7-6.
That's awesome.
What a game. I'm glad I left early for that one. I also want to share, guys, real quick. Danny Palm, if you could put the camera on my cam. Look at this.
Yeah, buddy.
New. Oh, no, it's upside down. Got something new for you guys. Check. Let's go.
I'd hate to be the guy that messes with these shirts.
We got these new 247 in the 412 shirts, ladies and gentlemen. I love this was fully Ryan's idea. Credit where it's due. I love Ryan's vision with that. And the shirt has a little, to me, it reminded me of like an old school Tap Out Affliction shirt, just a little bit, like not quite as cheesy, but infringing on that.
A little bit of cheese.
Yeah. And I'm here to say, I'm telling you, I'm calling it. Tap Out shirts, Affliction shirts, Extreme Couture shirts are going to come back here in like 3 years, man.
No, those style.
That style of shirt. And also people that have them from 2005 are going to start. Yeah. Like the vintage shirt crazy, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to come back. And that shirt kind of embodies it a little bit. And I'm a big fan of that. 247 in the 412. Let's go.
Let's go.
And if these sell really well, who knows? Maybe 247 in the 724. I mean, it's the same numbers. Let's just rearrange them.
What about 247 and 814?
Why not? Let's do them all. Let's blow it up.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I love it.
It's by demand, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know, the 412ers have to show out.
Correct.
First.
Correct.
And then we start, you know.
Are we selling those in June?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm just making sure for people because we got my boy Andrew Paya already hyped about it. I don't know if I say your last name like that or if I just tried to be fancy. If I nailed it, that's awesome. If it's Paula, I'm sorry, dude.
Holla!
But either way, holla Paula. But yeah, he's loving it. We got to get him one of those. He'll be back for some more photos in June. His photo. How good are his photos, dude?
They're pretty swell.
Pretty swell. And the dude is like big time into MMA. Like
and it seems he's really into grappling too.
Correct. He's all about it. He's the man. So shout out Andrew. Go follow him. Paula.
Go Paula him.
Yeah.
Paula.
It's Paula.
Paula.
Yeah, Paula. I got too fancy with Paya.
Wait. You are so dumb.
And we got AP the fighter in here. We're looking for a Muay Thai match for you as we speak, my brother. I hope we can figure that out. Hey, so while we're at it, if anybody wants a Muay Thai matchup against Anthony Proctor, let's go. Let's make that happen. Let's just do it. June 29th.
So let's talk about something, a problem that we face that happens from time to time, like every card pretty much.
Yeah.
So you have two fighters, you match them up, you pitch them to both sides, they both say yes, then you send out contracts, and then you get one back.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time. Feels great.
This is our least favorite thing ever. And then the other one just doesn't come back. So you're like, hey, what's going on?
Crickets. Yeah.
Crickets.
Do we have a cricket button?
Yeah. So literally, we're getting cricketed right now.
Did we both start to whisper? Well, I did for sure. I was like, for some reason, the crickets made me think I needed to whisper.
Quiet now. Quiet.
Hey, the crickets are chirping. But yeah, we don't love when we have a rock solid fight and then we don't.
Well, so now we're thinking like, okay, this person hasn't. We don't know for sure, but like we have to start looking again because it's been a couple days, and I'm a big, if someone's seen a contract, especially once they've seen it, if they don't sign it within 24 hours, they're not signing it.
Yeah, like it's all digital e-sign, so obviously we can see when they view it, so we know like, hey, you saw it. I will say, for anybody listening who maybe is concerned about this conversation, every fight that we formally announce, like with a bout announcement, is fully signed on both sides.
We won't.
So we're
not
talking
about
it. If you're excited about a fight and you're like, oh no, is Common not actually fighting? It's not that. It's a fight that you haven't even seen yet. But,
do you see Jimmy Sandlin has a title fight?
Dude, that's sick.
This weekend. Yeah.
A good fight too, that Abe Al-Sagahir. He looks, I'm not sure how you say his last name either, but he looks really good from what I've seen.
Also, I wanted to talk about Austin Bashi.
Oh my God, this kid,
dude,
what a sensation! Truly.
Well, I mean, we're kind of stuck in our own bubble,
right.
And I've looked into him, but what initially caught my eye was Lights Out was offering $7,500 for his opponent.
Insane number,
and that's crazy number.
I mean, if you look at PFL, Bellator, the early fights on those are maybe making that, maybe not. Like that's a real like PFL number right there.
Yeah, and that's just not a regional number. So what that tells me is that Austin Bashi sells a lot of tickets. So I'm curious about it. So we're friendly with all these people.
You're friendly with him?
Friendly. So I hit up Matt Friendo, and he told me what he sells. Okay. It's nothing anywhere close to what anyone's ever sold. Not like it's so far more than that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't even understand. It makes me want to learn more about Austin, like his upbringing. Like, even though he is clearly a prodigy in fighting, like what he's done is amazing. That alone doesn't equal the number. Like, he's got to have other connections, I guess, is what I'm getting at. There's got to be more to his story than just the fighting that makes him popular.
Well, I mean, it has to be like he's built up this following that, like, I mean, it's pretty incredible. Yeah. The number that he gave me, and I knew it had to be a really high
offer the opponent. Yeah.
To offer him that much money, it had to be a really high number. And to hear that, dude, that's awesome. First of all, that's awesome for him because he can literally make a ton of money fighting regionally. And I, from what he has good sponsors, he has like
Crazy, man.
yeah,
Good
so
for
he
him.
makes good, but he's also risking.
Mm-hmm.
He's set for Contender Series,
Right, for sure.
So that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, good for him. That is a really good story. His journey is one that you guys are going to want to follow, I think. And we got John the Machine Davis in here. What's up, dude? He's got some cricket emojis going on there. That's fun. Love that. John the Machine Davis doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would get a contract and not sign it immediately. For what it's worth, I have a feeling he's pretty much down to scrap all the time. And we got Lido 1776 in here. Both Chase sisters on the same card is pretty nuts. Plus Hope fighting Lil Bruzy. Yeah, that's a sick fight. And having both Chase sisters from Indio Dojo on that same Brawl the Berg 22 fight card is absolutely insane. As you said, that's nuts. It's we've wanted either one of them to fight for us for a long time. We've been very interested, obviously, in the Chase sisters and getting them in our cage and working with them, knowing not only their talent level, which certainly speaks for itself, but also their demeanor, how they carry themselves,
their intensity. I love it.
Yeah, they're freaking amazing. So we've always wanted to work with them, and now to have the chance to work with both of them on the same card is really cool. And also, if we're talking about the Chase sisters, you got to talk about the Worthy brothers too, right? We've got brothers and sisters pairs on these cards.
Brothers
Let's go.
and sisters.
Let's go. So we just made a post about that today, but obviously Shaka's coming up on the 21.5 card in the early afternoon, the noon start, and then Kama is main eventing the night card, BitB22, against Chris Rollins. So having both Worthy brothers, both Chase sisters, I mean, bring them out, baby. Let's go. We're going to have some fun on June 29th.
Yeah, when we added this card, it gave us the ability to kind of let people have the choice, you know. And do you want to switch cards? Do you want to like? And Shaka was like, "Put me as early as possible. I want to be
the first fight on the early
I
card.
I will be the early fight, the earliest. Like, let's early. I want early, so he gets early.
He gets early, and his opponent Mike Thompson actually just texted me today, and he said, by the way, thanks for putting me on the early card. Like, that's awesome that I'm going to get my fight out of the way and just be able to like enjoy the rest of the day and watch some fights. So there is a balance. Some people wanted to stay on the night card. So I think it's cool that we've seen the full spectrum of people. Some people prefer just getting the fight out of the way. Some people want to wait as long as possible and do it at night. So it's cool to see that difference.
I just think we've kind of got into this, you know, but we haven't on the podcast. This fight card is really the most incredible fight card we've ever assembled.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's like we're not even promoting or anything when we say that. It's literally a fact. Like, you cannot dispute that at all.
Top to bottom, there's just banger after banger after banger after bang. Like, it is literally so strong of a card. It's ridiculous. Like, we're probably, just because the pro side of the card, just to keep the Chase sisters as far apart from each other as possible, we're probably going to open with a Chase sister fight. Like, yeah. Are you kidding me?
That could be a main event.
That could be 100% be a main event.
Yeah, literally, that could be a main event.
It's so crazy.
It doesn't make sense. We got Dylan Cole in here. Remember that guy? He said, "What up, slime?"
Who? What's slime mean?
Yeah, who?
What's that mean?
Hey, go get us all Cokes, Danny Palm. Can you go grab some Cokes out of the fridge for Dylan Cole? I hear he's a big Coke guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He actually started.
I'm gonna go grab.
I'm gonna go get some Cokes. But Dylan Cole,
Dylan Cole's a big Coke guy, not
big
cola,
Coke
not
guy. Not cola, but Coke specifically, he loves.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, it's clearly the superior cola. Is that why he was always so hyper at events?
That's why he was always raring to go.
This all adds up now. This all adds up. I thought I saw a little dust on his blazer at one event.
Sukas Liebert in the house.
Sukas Liebert, what up, dog? Lucas Siebert, main eventing Brawl the Berg 21.5 on June 29th. The early card, he's the main event against Nathaniel Grubham, and that is a banger matchup. Lucas going up 10 pounds in weight to face a BJJ brown belt. I mean, if you're objectively breaking this bout down on paper, it looks like a bad matchup for Lucas, in my opinion. It looks like the kind of guy that could hold him down, control him, just kind of wear on him. And BJJ brown belt, obviously, high-level jiu-jitsu. But it also looks like Lucas has risen to every challenge in his career so far and looked way better than people expect every step of the way. So is he going to do that again, or is Nathaniel the perfect foil? I don't know, but that's a really fun fight.
Such a fun fight. Loving it. Like, every fight is really fun. And they're just like, they don't stop.
No, there's
okay, so there's 10 pro fights on 22 on the night card.
9 of them, yeah.
Okay, and we've announced 9 of them, and then there's 4 amateur fights.
Yeah,
and we've announced 2 of them.
Just 2?
Yeah,
2.
Okay,
2. That's right.
So let's go through this real quick.
The announced bouts,
all the announced bouts.
Okay, yeah. You guys ready for this? This is Brawlenberg 22 on June 29th, by the way.
All right.
The night card starts at 6 p.m. Lead us off.
Well, we'll start with Selena Brown. This was today's fight announcement. So what? Okay, now I don't know this. What's the name discrepancy here? Do we
Selena and Zoe
Eros. But she's
Eros?
listed as
Yeah.
okay. Tyler Cavelli and Bryce De Leon.
Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh, Academy versus Indio. You love to see it.
And now Selena is, because I keep looking at the registry.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
So Selena is out of what?
Rival and
Right.
also Pitt's MMA club. So Pitt College has
university.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
so
awesome.
Selena, I'll be honest. Oh, Ryan Kavanaugh wants a fight announced. We got you in a second, Ryan Kavanaugh. Let us brag about BitB22 for a second first. But Pitt, so Pitt College has its own MMA club Selena's a part of. Zoe Eros is Bowerhouse MMA.
Yeah, Zoe's Bowerhouse. Yeah. The next question, since I didn't put the card together, clearly.
It's fun. It's fun to watch Ryan catch up on what he missed.
Okay, so Tyler is the Academy.
Correct.
And Bryce is Indio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, I know more than
you got that one. That was well done.
And the one we haven't announced yet. Can we announce
the gyms?
Gyms.
Sure.
All right.
Mooney, Kelly, Carey. That's the 3 gyms I got. Jim Carey, Jim Kelly, and Jim Mooney. That's the only gyms I know.
You know Jim Kelly?
Yeah, dude.
That's
legend.
Awesome.
All right, sorry, but for real.
So another Bowerhouse.
Oh, you went the other way. I thought we were talking about a different one. But yes, so there's 2 AMI bouts that we haven't announced. We will tell you their gyms.
Yes, Jim versus Jim. Oh, wait. What were you talking about?
The other AMI fight that we haven't announced. I thought you were going with those gyms.
Well,
but it doesn't matter.
Okay, who's the other guy?
Exactly. I had to look it up too.
What gym is he?
Gara, BJJ, and MMA.
All right.
I don't know it, but I'm extremely excited to know it. When you guys see the announcement, you'll know why.
Yeah, I agree.
Crazy. That's a legitimately crazy, like, pro level fight that I don't know. I'm really excited about that one.
The other one is also Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh.
Kind of, yes. Pretty much.
Or yeah, good.
Ish.
What gyms?
ATT Happy Valley on one of them. That's
okay.
Pittsburgh-ish. I think it counts. It plays. They've been, hey, by the way, shout out ATT Happy Valley. They were on our last card, and they've been just freaking awesome to work with in general. I just want to shout out what they're doing there. And I think, obviously, they get a lot of shine with Bo Nickel and Anthony Cassar, but I want to, like, shine a little light on the full scope of what they're building down there, because they have a lot of, I mean, you guys saw No Hermosillo on our last card.
Wow, one of the most impressive amateur debuts in the history of
they're more
the world.
as incredible. Anthony Proctor said, "We're not Pittsburgh." Okay, before Anthony kicks us, they're not Pittsburgh. We take it back. They're totally not Pittsburgh, but they're still welcome in Pittsburgh anytime. But yeah, beyond Bo, and we all know the great things Bo's doing and has done and will continue to do. They're building just a ridiculous stable of like super high quality fighters down there. So shout out ATT Happy Valley. Thanks for being a part of this card too. You guys are awesome. So the other AMI fight is ATT Happy Valley versus Matt Factory. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa,
Wow.
Wow Martinez. That's going to be a banger. Both the AMI fights we haven't announced are really, 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 really good. The one is like I said, like pro quality. The other one is entry amateurs that are going to probably look like pros anyway. Because that's how it is nowadays around here.
I know, especially with Noah Hermosillo, dude. And he was going against the guy that was a
dude
2-0 complete stud.
Yeah.
Like
JR beats 95% of amateur 155ers we throw at him for sure. Oh, that was crazy. All right. So that's all the AMI fights. That's 4 AMI fights, and that's all of them. Now we're at pros for the rest of the card.
So
insane.
We have Hope Chase and Elizabeth Schroeder, which very well could open up the fight card. Trying to, like I said, we're trying to keep the Chase sisters as far apart as possible. We were doing the same thing with Kama and Shaka. Then when we split the card, Shaka said, "I'll fight in the morning if you let me."
Right.
So that's when he got bumped to the earlier card. We also had Lucas's fight on this card, which we moved to the earlier fight, and he's going to be in the main event of 21.5.
And there's another pro fight yet to be announced that is going to be on the early card. So we almost could have had 14 pro fights at night if we just wanted to keep it an all pro card. We have 13. We have 13.
The yet to be announced one, is that the one that is?
Oh, we're going to announce it on this podcast.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
We're going to say it. So if you guys are listening and you're like, hey, these guys are rambling, you should stick around for a pro fight announcement at BitB21.5. So there are 2, like you said, Shaka, Lucas Siebert, 2 pro fights so far on that card. We're going to add a third one for you before this podcast is over.
Today.
Very, very soon. Very, very soon.
Then we have one of the most intriguing bouts I have.
My dad.
Your dad?
My dad just commented and said, Ryan hurt his wrist golfing, ? Come just on. Now getting to that. That's awesome.
See, everyone is just a comedian. Everyone's so funny. It's just so funny.
I agree. When it's aimed at you specifically, it's like extra funny for some reason.
So one of the most intriguing bouts of this card for me is Bronco Busick and Raiden Keller.
Oh, dude, easily.
I mean, so let's just put this in perspective here.
Yeah.
Bronco Busick is a solid middleweight who flirts with light heavyweight, and he is a stud. He is when he's on the top of his game, he's one of the best in the world. He's really good,
super talented guy.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time. He's super talented, very, very capable. Raiden Keller, Kovacs Keller, he is a very high level, but he's a huge guy, heavyweight. All of 265. He most likely cuts to get there. He's huge.
I would imagine.
We have to order special gloves when he fights for us.
Literally.
He's huge.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I ordered
special gloves.
Three
I saw the order. Necessary.
Yeah. Completely necessary. So they're like weight classes apart.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like this is like a lightweight going up against a light heavyweight.
Correct.
It
Yep.
And guess what? Tell us what
Oh,
was
dude.
said.
This is the best.
This is the best quote with the Josh Visoki sent you.
Yeah, Visoki sent me a quote. He was training with Bronco, and I guess talking to Bronco about the fight, obviously, and being
Can
like,
we pretend like it was in line at a McDonald's?
that we absolutely
Okay.
we can do that.
This is
In
line
McDonald's.
at a McDonald's.
They were in McDonald's, and Visoki was like, "Bro, what are you, like? You're fighting this dude that's a monster. Like, he's a giant. What are you doing fighting this guy that's 60 pounds heavier than you?" And Bronco said, "If this guy pushes my daughter at a McDonald's, I'm not going to ask him to step on a scale. I'm just going to fight him. So that's what I'm going to do."
That's the best thing ever.
It really
I'm not going to ask him to weigh in.
Yeah.
We're fighting.
Yes. That literally is the perfect quote, and also the most Bronco Busick quote ever. I mean, that's him.
That is the best Bronco quote. Yes, for sure.
Bronco, we need to shout out just what a dude he is to work with, by the way. Every time Bronco fights for us, it's like a genuine treat. He's super easygoing, which is not common, I would say, in this space. He's like very personal, like really good. You just want to be around him. I don't know how else to put it.
And it takes away that stigma of like being super tatted up and being like an introvert or just maybe distant. He's the exact opposite, like just a very friendly, soft kind of like, just a really nice guy.
That said, Raiden and Raiden's team thinks Bronco's about to have a very bad night on June 29th. So that's the fun of the matchup.
You're going to have to get your tickets at 247 Fighting to find out.
Absolutely. You should do that.
So that's the second pro fight. These aren't in order. I mean, they're kind of in it, like listed in an order, but not, we haven't like,
we haven't
spent time
the order
to finalize it. So we're just, then we have another guy from ATT Happy Valley. This guy has already won world championships.
Sick.
He's a boxing world champion at Penn State, from Penn State. Moose. Let me give a shot at his complete name.
Yeah, do it. You got it. Sound it out.
Musa Al-Sulami.
I don't think you nailed it, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard either.
Sulayami.
I think it's Al-Sulaimani.
Al-Sulaimani. Okay, yeah. Al-Sulaimani. Yeah.
I'm not 100% either, but when I did the pod, which that was hilarious. He was like on one of the very first podcasts when it was still Zoom. And I asked him if it was right, and either he was being nice or that is how you say it. So I'm still not sure either.
Either he didn't want to embarrass me.
Right.
That wasn't like one of the very first.
It was real early, man.
Top 20.
Top 20. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It wasn't like one of the first three.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was before the studio for sure. Just crazy. But we've obviously been talking to Moose for a while and been wanting to get Moose a fight for a while. He went pro in Florida, I want to say. He made his pro debut, which made it was difficult to get him amateur fights. They went pro in Florida. Now they're coming back to PA. Now that he has a sanctioned pro fight, he can fight pro in PA. So he's got a Law MMA guy who you all know. If you're watching this podcast, you know Law MMA. Chris Weidman, Ray Longo, Matt Serra, that whole Long Island crew. Christian Alcala. So that it's a ridiculously good matchup. Again, a matchup that legit talent-wise is a main event matchup. We have like 9 main events on this card, dude. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And he's coming off of a big win against a former 247 vet in Kenyon Moore, who we saw last. I think I'm going on memory here. I'm not looking at notes, but I remember him against it was a Matt Factory fighter.
You're correct.
Hasn't fought since.
Yeah, also correct.
But I cannot pull up. It's a proper noun, so you know.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be
I can
tough.
picture
that.
him.
That was the long time ago for sure.
I mean, I've been thinking about it, but
hey, nice. Evan thinking about it. Nice. That was slick.
All right. So Evan DeLong, we saw Kenyon Moore and Evan DeLong. But yeah, Mr. Alcala is coming off of his first pro victory against Kenyon Moore, and they'll be stepping in the cage. Moose and Christian.
Love it. That's a sick fight. I mean, like I said earlier, obviously I was talking about ATT Happy Valley, but also getting Christian down in that Law MMA crew. I mean, that's as elite as it gets in the sport of MMA, that gym. So that gym versus ATT Happy Valley, fireworks, brother. Let's go.
Fireworks, brother. Then we have bringing it back to the shop. Taylor Cahill will be coming back to the 247 cage. It's been a long time. It's been three years, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Cahill will be stepping in the cage and against a debuting pro who's been in the 247 cage 3 times.
That's
2
more
or
you
3
than
times.
me. Yeah, that was before my time, actually.
I'm gonna, off the top of my head, I'm gonna say he's been in the cage 3 times or 2 times. Yeah, it's 2. Taylor Cahill versus Marcus Williamson. Great fight.
Crazy good fight. So Taylor was on the very first card I was ever involved with when I was still just doing like your social media and stuff. He was on BitB8. So that was, yeah, man, that was 3 years ago. That's crazy to think that it's been that long.
Marcus has been on 3 cards, but he's only fought on 2 of them.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy good matchup at 170. Marcus looks dialed in. Taylor, you guys all know Taylor Cahill. We get asked a good bit about when Taylor's coming back. So now you know. Taylor's coming back on June 29th at BitB22. So
That's right.
Get damn tickets. Bring all of Somerset County out here. Let's go.
Then we have a beautiful bout. Tom Kaiser and Dalton Jones.
That's a real good one.
A real good one. And here's the funny thing. Dalton is already selling away.
Dude, he is.
He's selling tickets.
He gets it on that level. He definitely gets it. Been super impressed by that, but also just impressed by Dalton in general. He reached out to us. He lost his pro debut in a fashion that he was unhappy with, to say the least. And he was like, I need to run it back. Like, I need to rinse this taste out of my mouth. And Kaiser's game for anybody. So that only made sense. But the interesting facet of this one is that Kaiser's going down to 155. And Kaiser at 170 was not small. He wasn't tall, but he was very jacked, very muscular.
Yeah,
it didn't look
he
like
looked like a 70-pounder.
Correct. Yeah.
And I will say, when I saw him, I thought, what weight class is he? Because he looked smaller. Like he's walking around a lot lighter than he used to.
Yeah, for sure. Which is smart, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we got, oh, look at that. Dalton was the first person to show me how bad leg kicks hurt, Anthony Proctor says. There you go. If Kaiser's listening.
Tom's already thinking, what am I going to do about that?
We also got Bobby Murda in here. Shout out Bobby Murda and Coach Nima from Kaizen MMA. So what's up, Nima? Nice to see you too, brother. You guys are always the best to work with. Tyler Dilly in here as well from React, and the Triangular Strangler, Mr. Sean Kyle himself, Flood City Jiu-Jitsu. So thanks for tuning in, fellas. It's always nice to have you guys here.
We're just running through the lineup we have for you guys for June 29th at the Monroeville Convention Center. Tickets are available at 247fighting.com. We're about halfway through the pro card. We've already talked about the two amateur fights that have been announced. There's 4 total fights, but 2 have been announced, and we're working our way through the pro card. And we're now at a point where we're talking about a young man who has not fought for us before. He's making his 247 debut. His name is Nico Petrides.
Love it. I think so. I think that's right. I don't know. Correct us, Nico. Clearly, I just mess up everybody's last name, so that's my thing. But it does, when you write it, it looks like Pet Ride. So I will say that, like, we kind of jokingly say Pet Ride sometimes.
Yes, we do. What about Pet Rides?
What about old Pet Rides? Yeah, Petrides. So Nico Petrides and Anon. It's funny because he's like the red corner in this bout, more local from Steubenville, Ohio. But the blue corner has fought for us before. Brogan Andres. Yeah.
Brogan Andres has fought for 247. He fought for us back in 2021. And now he's back. That was his amateur days. Now he's back as a pro. and we're real excited to have Brogan back. Brogan has fought so many fights. I mean, he's fought all over Ohio, Kentucky, you name a promotion.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fought a lot for Cage Thunder with Scott Corbin, and he's a very well versed young man who took his time with his amateur career and went pro at the right time, and now he's
that's a great way to put it.
Battling his way through.
Yeah, he's a dog. His whole team is great, led by Andrew Law at Route 250 Martial Arts, man. The whole team's great. The coach is great. It just trickles down from there. Brogan, we know what he can do. He's either a brown or a black belt in like every subdivision of martial arts. Like he's just he gets it, man. He's as well-rounded as you'll see. He's just always game. But then shifting the attention to Nico a little bit. Nico, obviously new to us, but we've heard nothing but good things and seen nothing but good things. And he's much like Bronco. So he actually cornered Bronco when Bronco defeated Mateo back at BitB20. So we got to be around Nico a good bit. Then he's very much like Bronco personality-wise. Like he has that very attractive quality that's like a very calm, easy to work with guy, excited to be there, like thankful to be there, grateful, but then just an absolute savage whenever it's time to go. So they remind me of each other a lot in that way, and it's cool to get them both on the same card. And if we're talking about Dalton selling tickets already, we need to talk about how Nico's selling tickets already too. This guy, like when Nico versus Brogan goes down, I'm going to call it as the sleeper fight of the night. It's my early fight of the night contender. The crowd is going to very much enjoy this fight. That's all I'm saying. I'm positive about it. I have zero doubt that this fight's going to really, there's going to be a noticeable uptick in the energy in the arena when this fight happens. I'm positive.
Nico said, "Pet rides works."
Pet rides works. Yeah. We have Drew announce him as Nico Pet Rides.
Pet rides works.
Yeah, dude. We got another comment, Anthony John Burkhart, asking how he can sign up to fight. So if you go to the link in our bio, Anthony, there is a form. There are actually several forms. So we do grappling, like grappling super fights, jiu-jitsu. We do MMA, obviously, and we also now are debuting Muay Thai. So whether you want to fight MMA, Muay Thai, or grappling, just go to the link in our bio and choose the appropriate form, fill out that information, and then we'll get back to you when there's a match.
Or you could just go to our homepage and go to the About, and
could do that.
Every one of those applications are under the About tab.
Absolutely. So we try to make it easy for you guys. We understand that, like, as we continue to grow, our pool of potential fighters also continues to grow, and a lot of people do. Like, we get this question a good bit, like, how can I sign up? How do I fight? But in a very general sense, you need to be working with a gym and a coach. You can't be just training in your garage by yourself. No matter how good or naturally talented you are, it literally won't work in Pennsylvania. So you need to have a coach that'll sign off and a gym that'll sign off, and we can connect with to run matchups by. But then after that, yeah, man, you just fill out the form, and then we let you know when somebody with similar experience and weight pops up, we'll hit you up. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Right.
Who we got after that? Is it the other Chase sister now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
So then we also have Bridget Chase, and she's battling against Gabrielle Holloway, who might be one of the toughest fighters.
It doesn't even make sense. Dude, never been, listen, guys, never been finished, never been submitted or knocked out. She's fought Chris Cyborg, Kat Zingano, Alexis Dufresne, who she beat. I think she finished Alexis Dufresne, actually. She fought somebody else really good. Julia Budd. Did she fight Julia Budd? Hope I'm not wrong. I might be wrong. She fought another like crazy top tier female. Yeah, nice. Julia Budd. She fought all those people and has never been knocked out or submitted. Now listen, there are a small handful of women in the history of fighting MMA who can say that. Truly. It's not hyperbole. Like, you fight those people, you're going to get finished. And one out of those four is going to finish you. But they couldn't. And she finished Alexis herself. So Gabrielle is an absolute beast. I believe she wrestled in college, brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Bridget Chase, we know what she's about too. So that's the other side of the coin. We know how ready she is, and not only how ready she is, but how much she recognizes the fact that facing somebody like Holloway is her chance to make a statement.
Have you seen the Chase sisters fight live?
Never seen them live.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
I want to tell, I just want to warn anyone. Seeing the Chase sisters come to weigh-ins, seeing them come to, the show and just show up, and seeing them in the cage, it's different. It's different. The intensity level, it's on a whole different level. I'm telling you right now, you better be ready for it. They're intense.
I'm stoked for this.
They're going to be fired up, and I just, being on the same show, it's just such a treat for the Pittsburgh MMA scene.
It truly is. To have man, it's a real honor. Like, I can't really undersell how cool it is to have both of them on the same card. Talent wise, like you said, demeanor wise, what they represent for martial arts and fighting, and then their gym affiliation with Indio, like being able to represent that gym as well, who we know what Danilo and the crew does there. Like, it's cool any way you slice it. And the matchups are great. Like, genuinely, the people they're facing are insanely high quality fighters too. It's not like it really is not like we served up 2 easy wins for the Chasers, which, regionally you see that in MMA a lot with the local fighters. This is truly not that at all. So that's so fun. Anthony Burkhardt's hype, by the way.
The other thing I wanted to mention is something that we don't think about a lot in the MMA scene, and we get a lot in the MMA scene. We get a lot of people from obviously jiu-jitsu gyms and wrestling, and people that train other martial arts, but there aren't a lot of people that are involved in karate in the MMA scene.
Yeah, good point.
I gotta tell you, the Chase sisters are highly credentialed karate experts, and they're kind of representing karate. And so there's going to be a lot of new people at the show, and that are going to be exposed to MMA and that follow the Chase sisters in their careers. So I'm expecting something very special.
Yeah, it's a fun point. I mean, who really is there? Wonder Boy, MVP, Raymond Daniels, but he's not super MMA focused. That's kind of it. Machida back in the day. Yeah. And yeah, dude, that's a cool point. So they bring a little bit of that style to it, but
they bring that style, but they also bring that that crowd as well. Like when they're so accomplished in karate. I mean, the Chase sisters have won a lot of awards and a lot of things in karate. So
very accomplished there.
I think that their following will be, there will be some karate people there that will have to impress with MMA
for sure.
Make them MMA fans.
Hey, I look forward to that challenge. I think we can handle this. Let's go.
Do that.
Greg Rudolph in here. Let's go. The chat just got a lot sexier.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Lumberjack. That's awesome. Anthony Burkhart says there's a fight coming up at the Monroeville Convention Center, right? Yes, sir. This is that fight. This is what we're talking about on June 29th. This is our card at the Monroeville Convention Center. We have BitB21.5 that starts at noon. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But the card that we're like really fleshing out right now is the night card. Starts at 6 p.m. on June 29th. So there are 2 cards, same day. If you like combat sports and you're in Pittsburgh and you're not in Monroeville on June 29th, you're doing it so wrong. I promise.
And just to give a little heads up, June 29th is the night of McGregor and Chandler. And I have a feeling if you stick around, you'll see some fun action.
Probably.
You'll see some fun action.
Allegedly.
Caden Middleton in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Caden Middleton? Let's go. Who let's take some staff predictions real quick while we're on Connor and Chandler. Who you guys taking in that?
All
Connor.
Right.
Whoa, that was fast, Danny.
He's
Palm.
like, I need to be first
that
here.
Was fast.
There's no analysis needed.
Bro.
I mean, I think it's best for the sport for Connor to win.
Of course.
I mean,
easily. Yeah.
It really, that would really be good. I want, that's what I want. I'm rooting for that. as much as I love Chandler,
I was gonna say, isn't he like your
He-
favorite
he is-
fighter?
I absolutely love Chandler. Here's the greatest thing about Chandler is you could put him in there with a rhinoceros and there's going to be an awesome fight. Like there's going to be swinging as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't like Michael Chandler is the most fun fighter to watch.
Yeah,
Period.
Yeah, I
End
mean,
of
that's
story.
hard to dispute.
And he's going to go out and he's either going to knock someone out or get knocked out and it's going to be awesome. That's Michael Chandler, and that's why I love him so
Love
much.
it. I love it.
And I can't say that about any other fighter. Like there's some that are close, but Michael Chandler is he's
I mean,
the-
Gaethje is the other one that I would throw in, and it's crazy that they're
He's-
the same weight and fought each
yeah.
other. Like we're blessed.
he is, and I think there's something different about Chandler. And I wasn't originally a Chandler fan.
Chandler has like elite athletic explosion. I think that's the difference between the two. Like Chandler's just more chaotic because he's so much more like a freaking fire plug, just waiting to go.
Dude,
Like-
I still remember when he got calf kicked and like his whole leg just
Yeah,
stopped
dude.
working.
That was a wild
That
fight.
was so weird.
I was there. I was covering that fight actually. That was the first time I ever saw a calf kick do that. And yeah, it happens a lot now.
If Chandler doesn't get him early, Connor drops him.
I don't. So the huge X factor obviously is what version of Connor are we going to get?
Sure.
So if we're saying Michael Chandler versus the Connor that beat Eddie Alvarez, I think Connor definitely beats Michael Chandler.
I think, yeah.
But we're getting a Connor off a huge layoff who looks like he's been enjoying himself for the past couple of years.
Peg leg.
Dude. I don't know. I'm taking Chandler all day, to be honest. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah.
I think McGregor knocks. I think this is probably the best matchup he could have gotten. I think he knocks him out in the first or second round. I think the later the fight goes, the more Chandler has
Yeah.
a better shot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think here's the thing about Connor. When he was at his best, I think people forget how good
Yeah,
he,
so do
he
I.
was.
So do
he
I.
was pinpoint
Yeah.
accurate. Like it was
stupid good.
stupid good.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that in like a long ass time.
Right.
I mean, you could argue about Cowboy, but I mean, I would say since Eddie Alvarez, he hasn't looked like that.
I agree. Yeah. Totally
So
agree.
I have to. My pick is Chandler,
Yeah, I think so too. So we've got two Chandlers and a Connor
but my heart is
with
like
Connor.
for the best
My
case
heart's with Connor.
scenario.
Yeah.
I think
For the sport.
I want Connor to win.
Connor being
I would
huge-
like to be wrong.
Correct. Connor being huge and a player in that division is great for everything. No doubt. And Chandler, if he loses, is still going to be Michael Chandler. Like, it sucks to say because I like Michael Chandler, but like his value is just being an exciting guy and put on fun fights. Like he's still going to be able to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't have a loot like he being Michael Chandler does not require being undefeated.
Correct.
But being Connor does.
Exactly. That's wow. Look at you go with the words. That was a great way to put it.
All right. So let's go back to our card.
Yeah.
Well, are there other like? I mean, I'm sure there are.
There's
but
like
are there
two
other
more.
good fights?
I don't know. Is
No,
this
no.
any good?
No. I'm saying on the
Oh,
UFC
sorry.
card, is it just the Connor fight primarily, or
I
there's
honestly don't know.
Well, there's
What we got?
Ian Gary and MVP.
I mean, that's
Oh.
fun. That's real fun.
But
I
like,
think-
aside from that, Joe Pfeiffer's on the card.
I like Joe Pfeiffer. They're probably still
he's a Philly guy? Pfeiffer?
Yeah. They're probably still rounding out that card, eh? They haven't.
They usually, I feel like they usually don't stack up Connor cards too much because they don't have to.
They don't need
Sure.
to. Yeah.
Well,
Or-
we
or-
got what we need. Until
Well-
that fight drops off, until Connor
Yeah. And they're
pops.
scrambling.
Connor misses weight by 10 pounds and pops for every steroid under the sun.
And you're probably not that far off. Okay. So the last two fights we have our co-main event and our main event. And these two guys they're both new to the 247 scene.
Yep.
They're gonna be lost in like
Yeah.
the convention center crowd.
I'm
Like
not going to know where to go.
you
yeah.
won't recognize them at all. No, these two guys have been and continue to be staples in the 247 scene. We have Justin the General Patton, who has quickly, well, not quickly, he's become such a solid, dominant guy that takes on the toughest competition, and it's amazing how good, how much better he gets each time. And he may fight 3 or 4 months apart, and like you see this whole new guy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And
yeah.
And he's fighting Tobias Taylor, who last fought for 247 for the 145-pound title. He fell short to Ethan Goss. And Tobias Taylor is a dog.
A close competitive fight against Goss, which needs to be noted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he actually nearly dropped Goss.
For sure, which you do not see too often either.
I don't know that we've ever seen Goss. Have we ever seen Goss dropped?
De Jesus? Did he actually drop him?
I don't know if that was dropped. I think it was more of like a
pain. I'm not sure.
I think it was more of like a cumulative kind of like.
I agree.
Yeah.
But similar note, Patton's chin, that last fight against Justiz and Olave before, Patton's chin is wild. Well, I was literally just talking to Danny Palm about this earlier today. Like, and we ended up just being like, we had to look it up to see has Patton ever been dropped. And there was actually a time in Pinnacle, but even then it was early. Justin was like 2-2 as an amateur at the time for Pinnacle. He got finished with strikes, but it was ground and pound. Like even then, like his chin is crazy. It really is a crazy chin, especially given the amount of training he's done, the wars at the academy and everything.
Yeah, like that's another 75 fights.
Exactly. He might be.
He's the most experienced fighter ever.
Exactly. Yeah. And Tobias, like on the challenger side, the blue corner side, Tobias, like we wouldn't obviously invite Tobias back if he wasn't awesome to work with, and if he wasn't an awesome fighter, if he wasn't dangerous, and if we didn't think this was a great matchup. So obviously it goes without saying that Tobias impressed us immensely in that title fight against Ethan. And ever since then, you know, we've checked in with Tobias several times for fights, and it just hasn't worked out. But this one did. And oh my,
and
what a time for it. What a time for it to work out. That is a banger. Yes, we do have a YouTube channel, by the way, Anthony. It's 247 Fighting Championships on there too.
We're not the best with that.
No, we're not super dedicated with YouTube.
We
should follow us in Instagram. We're the best at Instagram, I would say.
Yeah. All right. We're not the best at it.
No,
our best
is on Instagram and in live fights. And Tobias literally just joined the live stream. So Tobias, we were literally just talking about you and saying very nice things about you. So you missed it. You have to catch the replay and rewind it. But yeah, man, we're talking about your co-main event against Justin Patton. It's a ridiculous fight. Like you said, we've seen Patton just continue to level up and level up, level up. And Tobias, we just said he fought for a title. So it's not out of line to say that Tobias has been traditionally like a slight tier above where Patton was at in his career. But now Patton believes he's closed that gap and believes he's ready for a test like Tobias. So that's what makes it so exciting. If Patton passes this test, we're kind of at a sky's the limit kind of place. It's going to get awkward because he'll never fight Ethan, but like that's where he's going to be at.
I mean, everyone keeps telling me like those two need to fight, and I'm like, they're not fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not pushing this one.
Not, yeah.
But if you guys change your mind, like I'm just putting it out there, like, dear world, that would be so awesome.
Yeah. Tobias just said, I'll be his toughest fight yet. Love it.
Nice.
Love it. And honestly, dude,
I expect nothing less.
You. Yep. I fully believe you. And I frankly agree with that.
Folks, one of our best sponsors, 247 Roofing Solutions, is now 247 Home Remodeling. The right way, the first time.
Nice. Love it. How was the process of changing your name? Because that seems like the biggest pain in the ass.
It is awful.
Because I know. So to loop it back to the relevancy of fighting, I know what it was like just to split this into two cards, like everything we had to change and update. And
dude, it's I can't never even imagine. It's never ending.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
We are now 742 fighting championships.
No, show the shirt again. Hey guys, if you are interested in some new gear we'll have at the June show, check it out. Hunter's gonna show off the new shirt. You got the 247 and the 412. Representing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh MMA. We love it. So those shirts will be available. We got a good handful of them. So make sure we don't have unlimited though. So make sure you get yours early.
Should we have an Angel throw one of these out?
No.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
We should have her sell them.
Yeah, go sell them, Angel. Go sell them. Oh, dude. Hope Chase herself in here in the chat.
Hope Chase.
What's up, Hope Chase?
Let's go. Talking about you, girl.
talking about you, girl.
I'm just talking about you, girl. We're pretty stoked about this card, and specifically, we're super stoked about having both of you lovely ladies on the card together, you and your sister. So, and we kind of commented on how there aren't many people in the MMA sphere who are as accomplished as the two of you are at karate. So it'll be nice to have some some of that aspect of it.
That background, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Especially in Western PA, it's wrestling, dominates everything, wrestling and grappling. So to have this more karate style, but obviously clearly knowing your way around the mats as well. I don't think you can survive at Indio for more than 30 minutes or so without knowing your way around the ground game. I think you kind of get weeded out fast there. So that's awesome. She said, we're both very excited to fight on the card. Hell yeah. That's awesome. We're excited to have you. Let's go.
Anthony John, we appreciate the comment. Dude, this podcast is cool AF. Yes, we are cool. We're really super cool.
Couldn't agree more.
It's just it's so crazy how cool we are.
I agree.
No, we have a lot of fun here, and a lot of times we spend talking. Right now, we're talking about a fight card, and talking about really truly how this is by far the best fight card we've been able to offer to the Pittsburgh regional scene, right? And but a lot of times we bring fighters in. Most of the time, we have fighters in here and coaches in here and people who are just a major part of the scene. So kind of tuning in on a weekly basis to kind of check out the podcast means a lot to us. If you subscribe to 247 Live, you get alerts telling you when we're going live and all that stuff. So and also, we're live on Instagram and Facebook, but 247 Live is our native app, and we like people to go there.
Yeah. So go download the 247 Live app. It's iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and it also has a web-based site, stream247live.com. So if you are not familiar with 247 Live, now you are, and the app is by far our best product in terms of consuming the podcast. It's the best way for sure. Hope made me laugh. She said, yes, some days at Indio, you just practice tapping the whole class. That's a great workout. Love it. Noah Kiska in the chat too. What up, Noah? Nice to see you, dude. We totally weren't talking about you earlier.
We didn't say any names.
We didn't say names, but
we talked about your fight.
Anyway, what's that main event of BitB22 looking like, Ryan?
The main event? Do we have a main event?
I mean, there's a guy. There's a matchup.
Okay, so if you want to talk about, this is by far the most professional experience in a fight that we've ever had. So we have
it's 50 fights.
It's insane. Yeah. If you include their boxing fights, it's more over 60.
Oh, unbelievable.
Over 60 pro fights combined. Kama the Death Star worthy coming in, and actually Kama called out Chris Rollins after the last fight.
Doesn't happen a lot.
He called him out, and guess what? Chris Rowlands, he said, "I'm game. Let's do this.
Let's roll."
So we have Christopher Rowlands, who's coming off a great performance, getting a big upset in Morgantown, West Virginia against Ethan Hayes, an upset that I was there to witness. And Kama Worthy, who's coming off of a big win. These two, this is going to be special. What just fell?
What was it? Oh, it was my laptop charger.
Yeah,
It
your
fell out of the
laptop
table.
charger done scared
Dang,
us.
Yeah, that was scary. Hope said Death Star's fire. Agreed. You already know Death Star fight's going to be a fantastic fight, and against Chris, like you just said it, he went into enemy territory. Beating Ethan Hayes is super impressive in its own right because we know what a great fighter Ethan Hayes is. So beating him, yes, that's awesome for you, not for Ethan. Sorry.
Yeah.
But to do it in Morgantown, even crazier because Ethan Hayes is like the king of Morgantown. Like if you know, you know. Ethan Hayes' crowds in Morgantown are nuts. They love them some Ethan Hayes. So now he said that was fun. Now let me go to Pittsburgh and beat Kama Worthy. What a ridiculous back-to-back fight schedule for him. And he's fully confident he's going to go in there and beat Kama in front of his hometown.
And here's the thing, Kama don't lose at home. Kama hasn't lost in Pittsburgh in a long time.
Crazy.
He's won a lot of fights in Pittsburgh in a row.
Yep.
So Chris Rowland says, not happening.
Time to
this
end
time.
that streak. And it is. It's a great matchup. Stylistically, extremely fun. Chris with like a largely boxing base. He's a fantastic boxer. And you know Kama's going to be more than willing to stand up with anybody on earth. So if you guys like fun firefights, I have a feeling that BitB22 main event is going to be right down your alley. Do you say right up or down your alley, by the way?
Up your alley.
Up your alley.
Yeah.
See, I've always said down, and I've heard people say up, and I'm like,
yeah,
where is it?
It's because you're wrong.
I might just be wrong.
Yeah.
It's up your alley.
You have to get your hair cut down.
Dang. That escalated quickly. Chris Hustleton in here. What up, dude? What up, Huss?
My dog.
Let's go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, there are still 2 fights to be announced for BitB22, 3 fights to be announced for BitB22. And we just talked about all the fights that have been announced and that are.
We even talked about 2 of the 3 fights that haven't been announced.
Yeah.
We did a whole like corner versus corner.
There was a whole spiel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that card, as you've just heard, I mean,
bananas.
What's the most pro fights we've had before this? 4?
I think 4.
I think it's either 4 or 5. Even if it's 5, let's just say it's 5.
Here's the question
I don't think it is.
Here's the question I have. Since I think we don't have a Brawl in the Berg 23. I think we skipped to 24.
Because this just why? Wait, why?
No. Because that's it. I always kept it in line.
Oh, I see.
That's how many fights we've had here.
I see what you're saying.
So
but that's goofy though.
I don't know. Dude.
We need to have a fight somewhere else in between so it levels back out when we come back.
No. That's only Brawl in the Bergs.
I see what you're saying.
Because we've had other fights, but those
Steel
are
Town.
different. Yep.
And then there was a canceled show, so that helped balance out the.
Yeah, that balanced that out. So I didn't even
Skipped
worry
one.
about. Well, we did skip one. We went Brawl in the Berg 3 was the fight.
Right.
So that Brawl in the Berg 3 never happened.
Right.
Every other one did, and it kept the numbers in line.
Well, we just need to have a Pittsburgh card that's called something else then in between.
That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about?
We can just call it. I don't know.
Having another card won't solve this problem.
Yeah, it will, because it'll be like adding another Steel Town Throwdown to like keep the number right. But you know what I mean?
You're saying call it Brawl in the Berg, but have it be like a different sport?
No. If you called it something totally different, but then came back to Brawl in the Berg 23, it would be back on track, right?
I think you're totally missing the point.
I guess I am.
Yes. So
we should just call it Brawl in the Berg 23.
But it's the 24. It'll be if it's. I've always been able to keep track of it because it's the 24th.
I see. Well,
MMA Pittsburgh MMA card.
You're gonna have to deal with counting. Now you'll know. Just add 1, and that's what it actually is.
But then, okay, whatever.
We can't skip to 24.
I think we can.
That's goofy. Why would
think we can
23?
Because this is all your fault.
Guys, comment and let Ryan know that the next one needs to be 23.
But it's actually the 24th.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's dumb.
Beautiful.
It's always been okay. And then
It's dumb because you called the first one Steel Town Throwdown. You ruined it. From the
no,
jump.
we fixed that.
But you
because
shouldn't have done it.
Brawlenberg 3 never happened.
Exactly. So now there's a hole in our history.
There's a hole in my heart.
When people buy the box set of 247 Fighting Championships DVDs and
You can
Brawlenberg
totally
3
have-
isn't there, they're going to be like, how do I get 3? I need to complete
That's
the collection.
already the case. I don't think you understand.
I'm saying if you're a collector, you'll be like, why can't I have 3?
There
It's
are
missing.
no DVDs anymore.
Dude, bro, have
Bro.
you been to the library?
Have
There's so many DVDs.
Have you been to the library?
Jared Billy says he loves 21.5 because that's how the UFC did it back in the day. What an observation, Jared, because that is actually how we came to this number. We were like, hey, UFC 37.5 happened. We can do that too. Yeah. That's fun. Let's go.
Well, you guys do know the reason why we have 21.5 is because we already had all the everything registered. Like we could have changed it all, but Hunter's too lazy.
Lazy. Wow. The hate.
But we already had everything marked 22. We had tickets printed. We had like posters done. We had all this stuff done. And then we're adding an afternoon card. So like we had lots of meetings about like, what do we call this card? Like, do we call it something different? Do we call
just make up a totally new name? Yeah, we didn't know.
21.5 is where it ended.
I like it. I like 21.5. I like where we landed, and obviously having Siebert and Grubham, which we talked about, main event it at Shaka on it, that legitimized the strength of the card. And now we're adding in Ami MMA, Ami Muay Thai. Jeez, reading and talking at the same time. Muay Thai.
Can't even do one of them.
I know, for real. It's a tough life out here. But there is a third pro fight on Brawl in the Berg 21.5, and I'm ready to talk about it. I'm feeling ready.
Are you feeling ready?
Pretty ready. No, Jared, you did not miss the point of the conversation at all. Sorry, he asked if you missed that point of the conversation. No.
Wait, we have points to our conversation.
No, we just rambled, dude. That's all we do.
Bro, why are you dissing us?
Jared Billy.
What's up with Jared Billy?
I saw 2 ticket orders come through today.
I saw 2 ticket orders come through back to back. Boom and boom.
Jared said, I ain't missing either one of these cards.
It could only be Jared.
We have a third pro fight on the noon card. Brawl in the Berg 21.5. A local Pittsburgh favorite is making his professional debut.
Wait. Before you do that, this is the big announcement.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Have we announced the other 2 pro fights?
Yeah. Shaka and Lucas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Those are both announced.
I'm just making them publicly
That's it.
viewable.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
Sorry.
There's one more pro fight.
I'm sorry.
You ready to go for this?
Let's do it.
Ready to go for this?
Whoops. I just totally did the wrong one.
Sweet. Now you can see it. Miguel Deku Francisco. You know him. You love him. You know Deku. You love Deku. He's facing Pat Carrasquillo. Do you say the L's in that one? Or is it Carrasquillo?
I say it just how you said it. That's how I say it.
I'm going with Carrasquillo because it looks cool. It sounds cool. It's fun to say, and it makes me feel fancy.
If it makes you happy.
But they're both making their pro debut. This is going to be at a 140-pound catch weight. Pat Carrasquillo has one of the wildest frames for that weight. He's like 6'2", lanky. He's really, really, really long for that division. Miguel, on the other hand, like I said, you know him, you love him. You know what Miguel brings to the table. He is, I mean, in my mind, I'm going through my head, he is for sure one of the most well-rounded fighters in Pittsburgh in terms of being extremely dangerous standing, being extremely dangerous off his back. He showed some offensive wrestling recently, which we hadn't seen as much from him on that level, but he's truly rounding out all the tools to his game, and he takes this thing extremely seriously, trains like a maniac. I think every gym in Pittsburgh has had Miguel in there getting reps in at some point or another. He's purely obsessed with the game. So for him to make his pro debut on June 29th, man, it's an honor to have Miguel in there. It's an even bigger honor.
He plays to win the
He
game.
gets it. This guy gets it. Even a bigger honor to have him face somebody like Pat Carrasquillo in there. I'll say them both. We can edit it later.
Can I take this one?
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
let's go.
So Pat, there's a little bit of, nostalgia here because Pat was our first ever fight.
Whoa.
For 247 Fighting Championships.
See, I didn't even know that. He opened Steeltown Throwdown.
He opened Steeltown Throwdown. I'm pretty sure he was the first fight. No, we have to check that.
That's good.
But I'm pretty sure he was the very first fight against Rob Licht.
Dude.
Okay.
How cool is that?
He was on our first card. He was on our second card against Quincy McCombs. Won both fights. He's undefeated in the 247 Fighting Championship cage.
That's sweet.
And yeah, has just impressed. His second win, I mean, it was a fairly decisive first win. His second win was a little more controversial. I thought it was extremely tight fight that normally just from experience, normally when you have a tight fight, the hometown guy gets it.
Yeah.
That's almost always the case. When that doesn't happen, it's like Chris Rollins. Like it's the exception. It's not the norm. So he's 2-0 in the 247 cage, both as amateur. He's now coming in to make his pro debut in the 247 cage. So, he's been all around. He's fought everywhere. He's fought in New York, Ohio, obviously in Pennsylvania. He's fought in Nevada. So we're excited for him to be back in the 247 cage as a pro in the new cage with the new canvas. It's going to be an awesome show for both Miguel and Pat Carrasquillo.
Love it. Cut that promo, Ryan Middleton. That was well done. I'm already hyped about that fight, but now I'm even more hyped. That's really cool that Pat was the first ever 247 fight.
And
that's so cool.
And let me give you a little more on that. So neither one of you guys were involved in it.
Yeah.
This is really cool. So Pat, these are the things I can remember. Like I don't remember the fights last week, but I remember all of these ones.
Yeah, true.
So Pat, like there's no elbows at Amy. So Pat did like a spinning back fist and cracked Rob in the nose with his hit his elbow. And that's when blood starts squirting out of the pictures you've seen.
That's yeah.
Like pulsating blood squirting out of Rob Licht's nose. That was our very first fight. We had no buckets, mops, like nothing ready to go. And the first fight is a complete bloodbath. There's blood literally everywhere.
What are the odds?
Everywhere. Our first fight ever. We didn't have anything ready to go. This is our first fight ever.
That's so sick.
We did not have all of our things buttoned up. So we're like scrambling around, like finding towels and stuff. Like we didn't have any of that stuff.
That's so fun. You not being prepared, Ryan. This is news to me.
Guess what, dude? This is why. This is why.
There was a time.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, that's fun. I do remember you now telling me before about Rob Licht, like literally squirting
dude, you
blood
gotta
out of his nose.
Go back and look at the photos and look at the live feed, which is not as good as the live feeds are now.
That's fun in its own right to see the development of that. Yeah, for sure. So, go watch that.
So that's a little history of the 247 scene. And if you take a look at that, you see like, oh, we had 3 pro fights there. We're going to have 10 in one night. And then earlier in the day, we're going to have 3 more.
13 in one night. So that is a wild. That's a UFC card, dude. That's UFC numbers. We should see when the UFC came to Pittsburgh if they had 14 fights or 13. Like see how many they had. This might be the most pro fights ever in one day in Pittsburgh.
Nicole Worthy's in the house, bro. Whoa.
Real celebrities in here now.
What
Let's
up?
go, Nicole. Let's go.
We love that art, girl. All right.
Yeah. So we got on that early card. So noon start. Let's pull back the conversation a second. BitB21.5 starts at noon. Doors open at 11 a.m. at the Monroeville Convention Center. This is a separate ticket. So when you go to 247fighting.com, you're going to see two columns, one for 21.5, one for 22. Make sure you get tickets to the right show because it's two separate tickets.
No. Get tickets to both shows. If you just
so
get tickets to both shows,
you don't got to worry.
You don't have to worry about it.
You know what? That's why they pay you the big bucks.
There's not a worry. Like, did I buy the right tickets?
You got them both.
You got them both.
Yeah. There's nothing to worry about.
Boom.
I do want to say, we haven't really talked about this a lot, but I feel like people deserve to know, and we've got a nice active audience today. That noon card is cheaper, guys. It's like a matinee for a movie.
We're giving you a deal.
Get tickets for that card. It's cheaper than you're used to seeing from us because we understand it's at noon, and that's how things work when it's at noon.
It's a matinee.
It's an MM matinee. It's an
MM matinee.
There's something there. We can work with that. But yeah, like it's cheaper. You really have no reason not to go to that one. And then hang around in between. We got
Jared Billy.
I love Jared Billy.
Come on, dude.
Dude, he's the best.
And this guy's going to be there for both at the same exact seat. I'm praying Ryan has his zipper up.
You won't.
Probably not.
Probably not. It's a fight day tradition.
It's air conditioned. It's an everyday tradition.
Hunter, there was 10 fights on the last UFC Pittsburgh card.
Bro. We have 10 on the night card,
bro.
Let alone 13 altogether.
Fighters, coaches.
What about the other one, Danny Palm? Check the. They've been here twice, right? Check Congo and Pat Barry.
They've been here three times. Yeah.
3 times, yeah.
And I was at all three.
I wasn't at Pat Barry Congo, which sucks because that is the fight.
That was one of the craziest moments. Like when that happened, it was like, oh, Pat Barry's dead.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, he just knocked. What?
He was dead, and then he wasn't, and then that was the craziest.
On the Cowboy versus Cowboy card, there was 13.
Okay, we're tied with the UFC. Let's go. Now we need Congo Barry.
I love how Jared is like, Danny, look how many pro fights were there when Czech Congo and Pat Barry fought.
The lag on this, yeah, it's okay. We know Jared, all right. We said it,
but it's just funny because we're like, Danny, what is it, Danny? And now 11. Jared's like, Danny,
11. Let's go. We're tied with the UFC for the most pro fights in one day in Pittsburgh in history.
Let's go.
How sick is that?
How sick is that? It's very sick. We got to add one more just to break it,
bro. Oh, that's
the most pro fights.
That's not a bad idea.
In a day in Pittsburgh.
Let's go. We're cooking with gas, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, while we work on that,
here, can I?
Go ahead. Yeah,
I need to plead.
Do your thing.
Let's
plead.
Fighters, coaches. Why are you laughing?
Nicole Worthy said, "Can we get a VIP section with couches? I'm gonna need a nap between the fights."
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad idea.
We got to get some couches in that back room. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, back to my plea. Coaches, fighters, fans, let's all spread the word. Let's all push real hard. This could be a really special night, a really special day in the history of regional MMA in Pittsburgh and just in MMA of Pittsburgh. I feel like we can have the biggest crowd we've ever had. We got to invite our friends, family, coworkers, everyone. Let's get everyone that has an interest in MMA into the Monroeville Convention Center. Let's have the biggest party and then stick around afterwards. Have the longest day of MMA. Stick around afterwards, and we just might see another fight.
Could you imagine doing that?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome.
What a day. Truly. I mean, since we've announced this event, I can't even call it a full like one card. It's just a whole day. Like I just look at it as a day now. It's not like a show. It's a day. It's a whole thing.
A special day.
It's a really special day, man. I've been so excited for it since we announced it and how it's going down with the addition of Muay Thai, with amateur and pro MMA and Muay Thai all on the same card. And then this night card that is just stacked to the moon with pro fights and amateur bangers to lead it off. And like we just said with Danny Palm, the most pro fights in one day in Pittsburgh, even including the 3 times the UFC's been here. Wow, dude. Let's go.
Let's go. So we talked about Miguel and Patrick Carrasquillo having their fight announced, but we haven't talked about the rest of the 21.5 card.
True. So real quick, Anthony Burkhart said, is it in the morning? So the first card, the one we're talking about right now, 21.5, this one has amateur Muay Thai, amateur MMA, and pro MMA. It has Miguel's fight that we talked about, Lucas Siebert, Shaka Worthy, and these amateur fights we're about to talk about. This one starts at noon. The doors open at 11 a.m., starts at noon. The other card that we talked about extensively earlier starts at 6, doors open at 5. So there are 2 cards same day. Just get both tickets, like Ryan said. You don't need to worry about it. Just have both tickets and be there.
Spend your day with us. Here's the nice thing.
Just popped in. Sorry, Carly Joe MMA. You ever hear of her?
Do you know? Like she's the most famous person.
Might be the coolest.
She is the coolest.
Yeah.
And we discovered something by random.
Oh, dude, what?
The most. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Carly Joe here for a second. So, what? So I was on Facebook checking out pictures, and I was looking at Carly Joe, and I was looking through her pictures, her history, and I was mind blown. Yeah. She did bodybuilding. I had no idea.
Seriously, I had zero idea either. That was so Ryan sent me a picture of Carly Joe's like in her bodybuilding days, and I thought it was AI. Like I literally thought, oh wow, that's funny. You put like Carly Joe's face on a bodybuilder. I even said like Carly Joe Jacktimus or something like that.
And then it was like 4 days later. You were like,
why did you send me that?
Yeah, why did you do that?
I was like, that was real. And then I was like, no way. So then I had to look. Dude, I had no idea that Carly Joe did bodybuilding.
No idea.
That was wild. That was a wild thing to learn.
The Carly Joe legend continues.
Yeah. Yep. Wendy C66 in here saying, hey, what's up, Wendy? What up? Thanks for joining us on this fantastic podcast Friday. And we're about to head out to Stout Fights here real soon. Maybe we should probably start wrapping this up soon. But we do have other fights on 21.5.
Yeah, 21.5.
Carly Joe said probably never again. Yeah, fair. That life does not seem fun.
Yeah, how tan you were was
looked like me, dude. You were looking like almost as tan as me. I don't know. It was close. Right.
Okay.
Hang on.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Ryan, we want to know more about your voice today. Riley said you sound like a mix of Seth Rogen and the dad from the Goldbergs.
I don't know either one of those.
You don't know Seth Rogen? Pineapple Express, Zach and Mary make
curly hair.
Yeah,
I know that guy.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Okay, so quickly, my voice. I've been like trying to get. I don't know. I've been sick on and off for like a week.
It's not
now.
The worst it's been this week.
Oh yeah, my voice has been really bad this week. Do you go ahead and tell them how awesome I sounded earlier?
Yeah, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. He like came and he was like, "Hey Dan," I can't even reenact the sound.
I was like,
but it was like
hey,
it was concerning enough where I thought he might have been having like a medical emergency. Like I was concerned for his safety. I was like, "Are you okay?
So are you okay?" Yeah, bro.
Ish.
So I've been sick. Okay, back to 21.5.
21.5 AMI fight that we just announced. I have announced so many fights that I don't even remember if this was today or yesterday or the day before, but it was very recently. The Academy's Colby Potts taking on Center for Traditional Martial Arts' Cam Smith. That's hard to say. Goodness gracious. That's a mouthful. CFT. We're going to go with that. Cam Smith. So Cam is a multiple time 247 vet. And Cam is always awesome to work. Cam has the unique distinction of being one of a very small handful of fighters who has competed for us both in Pittsburgh and Ohio. So that's fun. We love Cam for that. And Cam and his team he's freaking awesome to work with. We love Cam. We love his whole team. Colby, being from the academy, obviously on the card with Shaka and Common, Tyler Covelli. The academy's shown up in a big way, and Miguel, also affiliated with the academy. Colby, we've never had in our cage, but we're very familiar with. And the fun part of this fight specifically, it's a rematch. Who doesn't love a rematch? And the first fight went to a draw. So they need to settle the score. They went 3 rounds and neither guy got his hand. Well, actually, both guys got their hands raised, I guess. But really, neither of them did, if you want to look at it that way. We need a winner. We need a winner. And on June 29th, one of them is going to win.
Well, we can't make
maybe. I mean, if it's a draw again, you guys are out here drawing like Bob Ross.
So Cameron Smith, Colby Potts, they fought to a draw in November of last year in Erie. And it's time to I'm not normally like an automatic rematch guy. When you have a draw, it just feels like, why wouldn't you want, like, I actually would be in favor of like a half a round.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
Like it's sudden death half round, like 10-9 must.
Love it. I love that idea, actually. That's really fun. I will say it's not an automatic rematch because they both won in the meantime, which makes it even more fun. They both put a win in between that draw. So they're both coming in with some momentum, coming off a win. And now who's developed more since then? That makes it really fun.
The last time it looks like their fight was at 130. Is that right?
Maybe it was in Erie, you said. Do they do same day weigh-ins in Erie?
It was at 130.
If it was, oh wow, that's light.
No, they don't do same day. No. I don't know.
I feel like I heard that before, but maybe not. That doesn't seem possible. Anyway, Colby Potts and Cam Smith, sick amateur fight on that card. We've announced another amateur fight for that card. Cam Jenkins coming from Immortal Martial Arts. You may know a guy named Matt Brown. You may know another guy named Mark Coleman, and they formed the Immortal Martial Arts Center in Columbus, Ohio. And Cam's been working under those savages to kickstart his MMA career. He's 1-0 right now, coming off a huge win. He's taking on Ron Peters, who fought for us back at BitB21, I want to say. He unfortunately lost to Noah Gaudiello, but since then has been kickboxing like a mofo. And I think he's maybe 3-0, 3-1 in kickboxing since then. He's won a lot of kickboxing fights since then. Needless to say.
Tell me, what do you have against Noah?
Noah, mofo.
No, you said like he unfortunately lost to Noah. Like you didn't want
Noah to win. It's unfortunate that Ron lost, okay? It's not about Noah winning. It's about Ron losing.
Well, wait, so you wanted... You don't want Noah to win.
Yes, correct. No, we all know I'm a big Noah Gaudiello hater.
Detractor.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So wait, was this poster already released?
Yeah, yep. That poster's been out. That's signed on both sides. That thing is rock solid, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great fight. So Ron, the fun, again, like adding a little extra layer. We told you that Potts versus Smith is a rematch. This one, Ron has really honed in on his kickboxing and is also dropping down from 170 to 155. So he's a big dude. Like I remember at BitB18, super muscular, like really jacked guy. So to see him at 155 will be kind of like Kaiser-ish in that, like, I didn't see 15 pounds for you to lose, but if you can, like, that might make you a whole different animal. So that'll be very interesting.
Whole different animal.
And Cam Jenkins and Lucas Siebert have been friends since like childhood, and this means a lot to them to be on the same card. So for all that Westerville, Ohio crowd, if you're not in Monroeville on June 29th, you're kind of also doing it wrong. You should come support your boys.
Listen, I'm gonna call out Westerville right now. Like, this is a big moment. This is a good road trip. This is a good time to come to Pittsburgh, spend some time here, and to check out a whole day of mixed martial arts action. You're gonna have an absolute blast. You're gonna have fun reconnecting with Lucas and Cameron, and ultimately, like, have the best night of your life. So Westerville, get the buses rolling. Let's start. Let's why just one?
Buses.
Yeah.
Bus it up.
Bus it up. Yeah.
It's bussing.
We'd love to see you here.
I know, really. That would be so cool. And I know it would mean a lot to both Lucas and Cam, but also to us to have you guys out to be a show that's worth traveling to, which, like Ryan said, this one truly is. Like, that's an honor to be able to put together a card like this and make it a whole day event, make it something cool that you guys are going to remember for a very, very long time. That's our goal on June 29th, and it is shaping up to be just that.
Let's go.
Let's go. Tickets at 247fighting.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign off. We're getting to stout fights. If you guys are watching and you're like, I want something to do Friday night, come to Cheswick. Come watch stout fights. Some great Muay Thai action right here in the Berg. Let's go watch some Muay Thai fights. We'll see you guys there. Peace.